AC/DC are the most successful hard rock band ever to leave Australia. Their high-energy stage act is compelling audiences worldwide. They're the only group ever to have an Australian-produced album in the English Top 20. They regularly have hit singles in Germany and Holland, and the band is very fast becoming big news in America as they headline their own sellout concerts.
Like an England, the only band that was selling records on the sheer fact of live performances.
The only band that was playing rock and roll.
The last single was sitting in the top 20 for like 6 weeks. Not one bit of airplay.
It's just too up for English radio. And
The rock press in America is currently calling the spate of Australian bands here as the Aussie invasion. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, we're the only ones invading anyway.
They're like Martians, really.
So many ideas for songs and so many good riffs, and the more we work, the more we tour, we're getting more ideas and we're getting more. It's going to get better and better. I can't see an end to it. It's like infinity rock and roll.
Okay, welcome back into Tunes Brothers on that highway to hell with AC/DC. I am Rob. That is Scott. What's going on tonight, Scott?
All right, man. We've got number four. Number 4, Bon Scott. Album that, in my opinion, and I may be wrong on this, but I know in this part of the country, this was the last album that they released, because I never seen this album, cassette or anything, until after all the rest of them were out. And this, we're talking 83, 82, in that era. And then when I was going through the music store and I seen this right here, I'm like, damn, Angus is getting electrocuted and he's got wires hanging out of his freaking sleeves. And I'm like, damn, I've never heard of that. I've never seen that. That's Bon Scott. How did they release this? He was really, no fucking way. Okay, I was head fucked, man. So, just a Bon Scott release, I think, and if I'm not mistaken, if I am, somebody correct me, the last Bon Scott release over here, unless 74 Jailbreak may have been the last one. But this one was close. The rest of them were already.
Wasn't that Jailbreak just in live?
No,
or
it's
an
like
EP?
it's like 5 tracks. It's like a EP.
Okay, so it's an EP.
Yeah, it's like a Motley Crue or a Rat, like Rat EP. That's what it's
right,
like.
Yeah,
it's good, but it's they got a couple of I think covers on there too that they done or whatever.
Right.
But Powerage, man, or Powerage, however you want to say it. I've heard people say Powerage. I've heard people say Powerage. Whatever. Everybody knows what we're talking about. And I did predict. Now I'm going to see if I'm right or wrong when we get to going through here, or when Rob gives his take. I predicted that he would like this better than the first 3, maybe with the exception of Dirty Deeds and TNT. I'm pretty sure he probably liked it better than Let There Be Rock. So I may be wrong, but I'm fixing to find out. So we're going to rank these least favorite to favorite, and I'm going to go ahead and say it before he gives his take. There's nothing on here that I don't like, and pretty much don't love. I mean, probably with the exception of 2 songs, I love the rest of this album, and I like those 2 songs. So give your take on it, Rob, and see if I went up or down or right or wrong here.
Well, The first listen, I was kind of indifferent. Like most AC/DC albums so far for me, there's some I like, some I just didn't care for. Second and third time through, I started, getting a little familiar, and some songs just, really stuck with me pretty good.
Yeah.
I can definitely see why you would have that take, because to me, at least in my ears, this is Bon Scott's hardest album, if you want to say it that way. The least bluesy, maybe the more rock, more rockish. Um, but what I've learned here is I went into this thinking I was a Bon Scott guy because I loved Highway to Hell, Dirty Deeds, Big Balls. I didn't mind Back in Black and You Shook Me All Night Long, Thunderstruck, but I preferred the other stuff. But so far, with a good sample of both singers, and this being, if you're right, Bon Scott's final album, I'm a Brian Johnson guy. I like Bon Scott's voice better. In fact, Brian Johnson's voice kind of grates on me after a while, unless, like on Rock the Blues Away, he's actually singing. After a while, it just gets too much. But it just seems musically the songs are more my style under Brian Johnson. They seem to be more melodic, more chorus-driven type of stuff. But this album's not nearly as bad as that fucking Let There Be Rock album. That was my least favorite of all the AC/DC so far. It might be, I think I still like Highway to Hell the best.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, with the exception of Highway to Hell. Because I know, see, that's when Mutt Lange come in and started producing them, and they were real polished and they wasn't nowhere near as distorted, and they were professional you could tell it was professionally done with that Back in Black on Up Through the Ranks there, but this one right here.
Because I'm just looking here. I mean, on my playlist, off of Highway to Hell, I've got Love Hungry Man, Highway to Hell, and Touch Too Much.
Yeah.
That's the most off of a Bon Scott album that instantly made my playlist. So
okay.
Again, this is not a bad album. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I think I liked as a whole the Highway to Hell album better.
Yeah.
But
that's my favorite Bon Scott album. Probably my favorite ACD album overall, but then again, it's tough. I really things have changed over time. Like I said, we're sitting here listening to these albums all the way through and stuff, man, and it's it's you think you know something, man, and what becomes very familiar or supposed to be familiar becomes very rediscovered, I guess you could say. I don't really know, but yeah.
For you, I mean, for me, this is another album where I didn't know a single song going into this.
I didn't think you would, because in all honesty, this album here, with the exception of one song, most people it is not going to know. I mean, yeah, and I'll touch on that when we get to that song. And it's
I don't want you to spoil it, because I'm sure you know, so I'm going to interrupt you quick and just give a take on a song. Not my whole review of it, but just something I noticed immediately within like 3 seconds. I had no idea the Beavis and Butthead riff was taken from AC/DC.
Yes, sir, man. Yeah,
I had no fucking clue. I'm sitting there and I'm doing my computer, my thumbnail work and shit, and I all of a sudden why does that fucking sound familiar? Then I'm like, what the fuck? So I quick Googled, and they said, yeah, it's basically based on that. They just kind of changed up the pattern a little bit.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Yes, sir, man. And I'm a lover. I'm a guilty lover of Beavis and Butthead.
Me too.
I love the movie Do America. I mean, that's fucking fantastic. All right, I'll start this off, I guess, and we'll just figure out as you go along. I'm gonna see, kind of. I'm gonna say we may have some, because this is just a totally different album altogether for AC/DC. They were pretty good about that. So, my least favorite song on here, but I do like it. It's a little bit in your face, and I heard one band do it at a club I went and seen. It was Jackal's son, Jesse's son had a band that opened up for them, and they done this cover, and they done it pretty damn good. It's no, this is not the one, but Up to My Neck in You is my number 9 track album here, guys. Yeah, it's not bad, but it's just a simple dun, 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 I've been up to my neck in whiskey, up to my neck in drugs, up to my neck in you. I mean, dude, he's just going off on every damn thing in this song. But it's okay. It's not my go-to song. It's not on my playlist or nothing like that. But it's not bad, So that's one of my like songs right there. So that would be my number 9, Up to My Neck in You.
Okay. My 7, 8, 9 are the songs I absolutely do not like.
Okay.
And I took notes this time just in case Mr. Butthurt, AC/DC fan, Kiss hater. I'm at least, in fairness, I felt bad about this too because I really didn't have much to contribute with these songs because I didn't know much. So I wanted to be a little more prepared. So I won't remember the songs, obviously reading the names right now. So I wrote notes of when I was listening, so I have a little bit better reference.
Okay.
So number 9 and my least favorite is Riff Raff.
Okay.
The intro on this song, I don't know what the hell he's doing. I mean, you're familiar with hammer-on and pull-offs, right? Where you got a string, a fret down, and you use another finger just to push and pull on the string.
Yeah.
It sounds like he's using his entire fucking hand, just mashing all the strings together. It's just, I don't like it. It sounds crappy and out of tune to me. But other than that, the actual music it's just, the intro was way too fucking long. This song just ended up being noise for me.
Okay. And funny, that's one of their go-to songs on here. It's actually the song that opened up this tour. That's
Really?
Yeah, with that intro. I mean, he's just, yeah, man, he's really, yeah.
What about that first part before that? It's just a bunch of goddamn mashed up noise. I don't know if you have it.
Yeah. Yeah, man, and he does it, and it builds and builds and builds, and then the drums come in. Yeah, it was just a intro song for this show, and of course, they made it a staple in their concert then, but I don't know if they've played it probably since then. I don't know. For the record, I can't, I don't know what tours they have and they ain't, but I've got to get there. But my number 8 is Kicked in the Teeth Again. Sometimes you lose, sometimes you win. Two-faced woman with a two-faced lies. Yeah, man, this is the one that they covered and done. And they done it real good. After Bond gets done shouting out his little things there at the beginning, and Angus with his in between guitar, they start rocking. I kicked in the teeth again. Sometimes you lose, sometimes you win. Yeah, I like this one better than the other one. The other one would be my least favorite on this album. It's not bad. It's just, like I said, guys, it's not my go-to song on this album. I know people that do love it, and I'm not damning it or nothing like that. I'm just saying it's number 8 for me.
Okay. And my number 8 is Kicked in the Teeth.
Okay.
I hate that vocal intro.
It is kind of it's just too much. It's too long, isn't it?
It's just and the next 2 songs, this one included, he's on this yelling kick instead of singing on this album. He just screams everything all the fucking time, and it's like, Jesus Christ, dude, settle down. I mean, you can be hard or fast without screaming. And I mean, that's kind of why I always lean towards him versus Brian Johnson, because he wasn't a screamer. But on this and the next song, there's just way too much yelling for my taste.
Yeah, and that's why these wound up at the bottom for me, man, is because of that reason. Because the majority of this album, to be honest with you, is a lot more mellower than Let There Be Rock is the heaviest one I think Bond ever done, with the exception of Highway to Hell. But the production, it's totally different. But yeah, the ones he done.
I overall, after I get past my bottom 3, I love the feel of this album.
Yeah.
It's very, I don't want to say mellow, but it's more laid back, except for these 3 songs.
Yeah, it's more of a just a hard rock feel, but not all punching in your face like that like those are. Yeah, I agree, man.
Yeah.
All right, we hit one. All right, now this one right here. From here up, I love all these songs. Every band has a what you call what can't I think of that, man? They put them on their
fillers.
They just
filler.
Yeah, fillers on their albums, and I don't know if that's what they was going for with those few songs or whatever, but that's what they felt like to me, because there's a few songs on here that just don't fit the vibe of the album, and those fast, hard, screaming ones were it. I don't know if they were left over from Let There Be Rock, or I don't know. But number 7, probably the majority of AC/DC fans, the song that I was talking about that's known, and most of the people that know this album, they know this song. A lot of famous people have covered this song, Great White, Twisted Sister, on albums. It's Going Into Sin City. I'm going to win.
Really? I've never heard it by anybody.
Going to win in Sin City, Las Vegas, bring on the dancing girls and the champagne on ice, Hell yeah, man. And I've always loved this song, dude. It used to be one of my favorites. I think I listened to it so much at one time that it fell down in the rankings. But like I said, guys, from here up, I love these songs, and they got to fall somewhere. But yeah, man, Great White does a killer job of doing it, and Twisted Sister does too, man. Yeah, man, they do it. Both of them do a great job. A lot heavier too, man, and well, production. Diamonds and Dust. Poor man last, rich man first, baby. All right, that's my number 7, Sin City.
Okay, my number 7 is the last of the songs I do not like, and you've already touched on it. Up to My Neck in You. The verses kill this one versus the chorus killing it. He's just, again, yelling and yelling out these verses. I'm like, what the? It just, and I'm sure people like that. I just don't. I mean, I got to be in the right mood to even listen to, say, Quiet Riot, because there's a lot of screaming there too, right? But this is just it. This is 7, 8, 9. I'm not saying anybody's wrong for liking it. I'm just saying it's just too much for me.
Those songs there that I've been through, with the exception of your Riff Raff, we've done put them down at the bottom. Those are the last two songs on the album. That's why I think they were thrown on there just to put the album out. And they're the least go-to songs pretty much from everybody that I've ever heard. You know, they just don't fit the groove of the album. They don't. So that's why I think they were, yeah. All right.
Okay.
Number 6, you just touched on it. Riff Raff. I've always loved this. Once they get into the jamming, man, and you know, Scott's, you know, he's rocking, he's singing his ass off on this one. And they just go wild on the song, man. It's a hard song on here. It's pretty heavy, pretty in your face. He's just, yeah, I've always liked this one. And I recognized this one before this album. It's a, If You Want Blood, You Got It. This concert that they put out live. I just wish they would have made a Highway to Hell live concert now. But we'll never be able to go back in time and redo that. I guess if they knew it was going to be his last one, then they probably would have, but nobody knows that. So, yeah, man, I love the riff. Yeah, man, and it just fell where it fell. It's not my favorite on here, guys, but I do like it. So it looks like me and him's touched on pretty much the same songs so far. So I didn't know how smooth this was going to go. But that's my number 6, Riff Raff. Not bad.
Okay, my number 6, another one that had me fooled with the title, Down Payment Blues. I will tell you, this is one badass bass intro. The riff, you know, with the guitar is a little repetitious through the song, but it's a cool riff nonetheless. And that bass intro just grooves right from the start. This song I enjoyed.
Yeah. I would have said ding, 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 but that's my number 5, Down Payment Blues. I've always liked this song. This is a song that's got the feel of the album. It's, you know, you got the ones we're coming up on too. And this one's always, I got holes in my shoes. You know, I mean, it's just, he's just telling a story again, man. You know, that's what he does in a lot of his songs, man. I got the down payment blues, man. I got holes in my socks. I got holes in my teeth. I ain't getting no sleep. You know what I mean? It's, yeah, the bass, dude. The bass, man, and the opening of it, man. Yeah, and then it starts, da-na-na-na-na-na. Yeah. A song that I've always liked. And it's in the middle of the pack for me because there's, of course, you know, I like better. But not a shy away song at all. I think I like pretty much everything about that song. So,
All right. My number 5, What's Next to the Moon? There's very little that I enjoy more than tribal drums, and this song has it in spades. Absolutely love that freaking intro. The song just grooves pretty much all the way through. Very, very decent tune.
yeah, man. And here we go. This is a song where you don't really, you know, I mean, yeah, you can listen to these lyrics on these songs right here, and you can tell what he's talking about and what he's saying. But then when he comes out, well, what's next to the moon? You know, you're like, what the fuck is he talking about?
Well, and I was waiting for it because I'm like, I haven't heard him say it yet. Is this going to be one of those songs where the title's not in the song?
Still this day, what the fuck is he talking about? But it don't matter. The song is that good.
No.
That's what I try to explain to people when it comes to lyrics. Don't really matter, but if they're so undeniable, like just repeat on and on and on, and it's the irritating kind, and you can't not know they're
Yeah.
there, and they disrupt the song for me. But this one does not at all, man. I've got to get there. Number 4 for me is Beavis and Butthead. Gone shooting, baby. Da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Hey, man, I remember picking up on that when I first seen them, man. I'm like, they got Beavis and Butthead on here, man. That's got AC/DC. I love it. And of course, you know, he's got the AC/DC shirt on.
Yep.
Yeah, just a rhythm and kind of bluesy, you know, but rocky and catchy song. And Bond delivers so damn good, man, on this song. It's
Yeah.
where he's not screaming, you know, like,
No,
yeah,
that chorus is so smooth. Gone
yeah,
shooting. I mean, oh man.
yeah, hear the whistle blow. Yeah, man, I've always loved this song, man. Of course, back then, didn't know it was going to wind up being a Beavis and Butthead soundtrack, but yeah, man, Gone Shooting, yeah, man. Number 4 for me, great song, always loved it, and these could be anywhere in this area for me. I love it, so.
All right. Number 4 for me, I've got listed as a typical filler track from AC/DC. And what I mean by that, a lot of bands' filler is some shit stuff. Kiss has got a lot of shit fillers. AC/DC's fillers always are good, meaning it's not going to irritate you if you're in a bad mood. It's on in the background. I mean, it's a good enough song. Not one you'd necessarily put on purpose, but Give Me a Bullet. The 3-chord simple beat in this works. Again, there's nothing that makes it stand out stellar to me. It's just a good tune.
Yeah, it's a Gone Shooting, down payment blues type song, man. It's just different, and the vibe of it. You're right, man, and I've got to get there. You know, I'm coming to number 3, which is, you just touched on it. Da-da-da, tied my baby to the railroad track, train coming down the line, giving that woman just a one more chance to give it to me one more time, baby. What's next to the moon? I love it. I love it. The erratic, damn, you know, chorus, man, whatever, if that's what you want to call it, dude. What's next to the moon? I mean, it got nothing to do with what the hell he's talking about, I don't guess. Maybe they understand, but I don't.
As I was listening to it, I'm like, what the fuck does any of this have to do with the moon?
Exactly, and I've always thought the same thing. It's your love that I want, it's your love that I need. But what's next to the moon? Only Bond, man, only Bond. But I love it. It works. I'm so glad they made those songs work like that, man, because it would have been fucking weird, man, if they didn't, dude. It'd be like, oh, y'all fucked up. But yeah, man, what's next to the moon? My number 3 at this point in time.
Sin City's my number 3 that you touched on already. Love the steady bass line that really stands out in this song. Another 3-chord riff, kind of repetitive, that just works. This song I like better than Give Me a Bullet because the words in this song speak to me. I can identify with a lot of that stuff. So yeah, great song, Sin City. I had no idea other bands had covered it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you when you get time, you can check it out, man. You know, yeah, dude.
Great White, what album was it on with Great White? Because I can't believe I haven't heard it.
AC/DC tribute album, man, where big bands
Oh,
are.
okay, so it wasn't on their actual release.
No. Wait a minute. They might have. Yeah, I believe they do have it on one of theirs. Yes.
Was it like pre-Rock Me and Once Bitten? Pre-Once Bitten?
Recover, I think. if I ain't mistaken, it's a album of Great White. It's got a shark on the front of it. I think it's got like a red cross symbol. Recovery.
Okay.
They're doing all covers, dude. They're doing something from.
I don't know that. I don't know that album, so that would explain.
They do such a fucking stellar job on all of them, bro. Hey, hands up, man, to Great White and Jack Russell, man. Rest in peace, dude.
Yeah.
Today, I seen them a couple times, and they were fucking phenomenal, man.
Yeah. I'm so lucky I got to see him in his heyday.
Yeah.
It was the Once Bitten, Twice Shy tour.
I didn't get to see it.
He actually tried to pick up my 16-year-old girlfriend. We were out in the parking lot, and he was in the bus with his head hanging out, making a pass at her. I'm like, you motherfucker.
I like you, man.
But that was a cool day, man, because I got to take Jason Kendall is his name, right? The lead guitarist.
Yeah, he got killed.
Kendall, whatever. Yeah, I got to walk him down to, there was a few blocks away the hotel, and he wanted to find a place to get some sunglasses. So he walked with me and my buddies down to the mall, and we went shopping with him and shit. Wow. So yeah, it was a cool.
That's a hell of an experience there. I've never been able to have something like that.
Yeah, that was fucking. When we walked into the hotel lobby after their buses pulled up, by the time we got in there, Russell's sitting back on like a wraparound U-shaped couch in the lobby, and he's just got his head back, and he's just singing the verses for Once Bitten, Twice Shy out loud in the hotel. I was like, holy, this is the coolest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. Yeah.
Wow, man. Yeah, that's awesome, dude. I tell you, man, that's stuff you never forget right there, man.
Yep.
Okay. Number 2. We're getting there, guys. And Rob just touched on this. Give me a bullet to bite on, and I'll make believe it's you, man. Damn right, dude. I love this. I've always loved that intro, and then they start rocking. Bond just delivers a hell of a vocal performance on this album, and I love, man. Give me a bullet to bite on. Number 2, man. I really can't say much better about it. I love the song. One I've always loved, man. I always wondered why some of these songs was not their go-to songs. Yeah, one of their go-to songs is on here. It's my number 1 song. I ain't going to say it yet, but God dang, there was so many of these just mid-tempo songs I felt like they could have really went with at that point in time, man. It would have really, I guess they were just going for the heavier edge, man. It was coming into 78, I think, when they released this, and Highway to Hell, and then just building and building. Maybe that's what it was. It worked out. I just believe that a lot of these albums, man, that Bond done was experimental albums, man, to see what kind of direction they wanted to go in. And then when they finally got Highway to Hell, man, they figured out what direction completely they wanted to go in, man, and bam, damn, what an experiment. That's all I can say, man. Yeah. Give me a bullet.
And that was his last album, wasn't it?
Yeah. I think they had I think they had just finished that tour. Because I think in 1980 is when it actually...
He finally hit his stride and then fucking gone.
Just made it, man, in America. Just made it in America, which is what they was, everybody tries to do anyway. No, right. In UK and Australia and places like that, that's where they're from, Scotland. I think somebody said on here that the Angus brothers were from Scotland too. I
always say the Malcolm brothers, the Young brothers. Yeah,
I did not know that. I knew Bond was. There you go. I learned something too. So yeah, man. Bullet to bite on number 2 and number 1 coming up.
All right, my number 2 you have touched on, and it is Gone Shootin'. What a cool song. And yes, it does have blues over and undertones all the way throughout. but it's without that I mean, it's just his singing is bluesy and cocky and just chill. But the music is not overly, George Thorogood blues riff. And the Beavis and Butthead thing is just a bonus. Again, that just floored me as I was hearing it. I'm like, what the?
Yeah, man.
But yeah, when he starts singing this song, it is so relaxing and cool. This is a great song.
Feel the pressure rise. Hell yeah. Hear the whistle blow. Yeah, man, that's a kickback, whatever song for whatever.
Yeah.
Just chilling, dude. And another thing. Now, let me set the record straight on this, because I am not a blues lover. Now, if anybody took that in the wrong way, or you took that the wrong way or anything, no. I don't listen to just blues music. That's not my cup of tea. I love blues when it's incorporated into hard rock and metal. I love the sound of it coming out. And AC/DC probably is the biggest contributor. You can just tell that's the side they come from, but the style they bring to it is what I love.
Well, here's the funny thing, though. To me, in my world, that name never came up with blues rock, but Cinderella was always labeled a blues rock band.
Yeah.
And it's got undertones of blues, especially on the Night Songs album. But AC/DC, to me, these Bon Scott albums are way bluesier than Cinderella ever was.
Yeah, man. You're going to be able to tell a lot more.
See, the Cinderella, incorporating the blues like Cinderella does, I like that. But it just seemed like on a lot of these Bond albums, the guitar was so overly sitting in a blues club. It ruined it for me. It was the tone, it was the style of the progressions being played. It was very bluesy, and that was too much for me.
And that's understandable, man. It's a lot of people now. It don't bother me as bad because I love the sound that they're making with it. But George Thorogood, I mean, I'll just go ahead and tell you, he's only got 2 songs that I like, and that's it. I mean, I don't own anything by George Thorogood. I've never seen George Thorogood, bad to the bone. And my favorite one, just because it's a crazy ass fucking song, I guess. 1 bourbon, 1 scotch, and 1 beer. I like that. That's all that I like by him. Yeah, man, I can dabble so far, but I can't go full. I'm just not built for that full, sound,
right.
Man. And I can understand, and just to touch on Cinderella, that's what wound up being the destruction of Cinderella. A lot of people don't understand. Now, you done great. You made the big time. I seen the long cold winter tour, bro. That was fucking phenomenal. They had a stage presence, dude, that was absolutely insane. I seen the Night Songs. They opened up for David Lee Roth on that one.
Yeah.
It was that's my favorite album they ever done. But
me too.
But when they got past Long Cold Winter, dude, they went off the cliff with blues. They fucked their whole. They made it, and they went straight, still climbing and shit. Listen to some of those. I just did not.
And there's some I like, but even the one I do like, the More Things Change, heavy blues. Shelter, heavy blues. But more than that, they went blues, but they went so goddamn crying in your beer blues, slow shit. And that's all Tom Kiefer, because I saw him at Rocktember a couple years ago headlining the second night. And he's obviously struggling vocally, but still puts on a good show. But he's got a stage full of sax players and horn players. I'm like, motherfucker, I come for a rock show, not a blues show.
Yep, and that stands out on that album too. After Long Cold Winter too, they've got them in the damn albums, man. Horns and shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
wait a minute. You guys just, and then they tried to back up. Don't know what you got till it's gone with, what's that?
The Last Mile.
She took the last train.
Oh,
Man,
Heartbreak Station. Oh my
I'm
God.
like, come on, guys.
I hate that fucking song.
God dang, guys. Y'all just topped the charts with, you don't know what you got till it's gone, and then you're going to come out and try to top that. Okay? With a blues sound, with your steel finger on your guitar. Dude, you just hit your height. Why did you not go back to night? Night songs is what made Long Cold Winter so damn good. See, that's what fucking don't understand, man. God dang it. And I do like Long Cold Winter, but as far as a collective album, it ain't nothing to Night Songs, in my opinion.
I tell you what, that was a perfect album. And if you want, in my opinion, the perfect example of a rock infused with blues ballad, fucking Nobody's Fool off of Night Songs. Unbelievable song, epic song. I will listen to it even if I'm in the mood for fast music because it's so fucking heavy, yet it's still a ballad. Push on there, Something for Nothing, Somebody Save Me. I mean, pretty much that whole album was better than the original release of Shake Me, which is still a good song.
Yep.
That fucking album is fucking top notch. And I love Gypsy Road when they came out with that. I wasn't crazy about Don't Know What You Got because I'm not a big piano guy. But that was a decent album, but it was already kind of falling off the cliff with Long Cold Winter.
Yeah.
It went to the lighter side.
If it wasn't for that ballad on that album that just went slam,
It would have bombed.
That's what got them at headline status. You know, the Bullet Boys and Winger opened up for them, man. That was a hell of a fucking concert. Yeah, dude, yeah. That's all I'll say. Yeah. And then y'all are back down again, man. I just didn't understand that. So, number one.
Well, there's our side rant.
Yeah, just a little jab, man. I mean, at a band, you don't understand why they do things they do, and they finally get there. You know? They fail to recognize what actually got them there, and that happens to a lot of bands, guys. It really does. So, my number one, and probably has been for a while, and I think we're both going to hit our number ones on this, guys. Rock and Roll Damnation, boys. Oh, just yes, man. Just a staple was back then when they come out with it. This was a live staple, man, and for all good reasons. A lot of people will know this song too, but not as much as Sin City. It's floated around. It's got really big, you know, as the years just went on. A lot of people know it. Yeah. It's tough. Yeah, man, this is just absolutely, you can't get enough, man. I mean, this is a rock song, just a freaking, just AC/DC Bon Scott perfection song, in my opinion. Number one, Rock and Roll Damnation.
Number one is Rock and Roll Damnation for yours truly as well. Not even close. This thing is head and shoulders for me above anything else on this album, down to the chick singer towards the end on the chorus.
Yep.
Never thought I'd hear that out of a heavy AC/DC song. This song kicks ass from open to close. Just fantastic.
Yes. And hey, I was wondering about, like I said, a couple of these, man. We hit about two, and that's a song that
But we were real close on most of them. We were real close on most.
Yeah, we were like that, guys. I mean, and I kind of figured we would be, because
I think with the exception of, I think the furthest apart was Sin City and Riff Raff.
Yeah,
and Riff Raff.
The only two. Then again, no, Riff Raff was my number 7. It was my 6. I think it was your 8.
Okay, three spots. It was my 9.
Oh, okay, number 9. All right, that's right. That's right. And what's going on, boy? Yeah, he don't come in here that much, but he come in here. This is
Yeah, mine's been bugging the hell out of me too. So if we do another one, I'm gonna have to pause and get these guys fed, gals.
yeah, man. Yeah, if let's see, what time is it?
We got a live. It's 11:15 my time, so 12:15 your time.
Yeah, I don't see why. I mean, it's a
Well,
live
it's up
album.
to you. It's up to you.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's a live album.
We'll decide afterwards.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Just
Okay.
yeah. You go ahead and hey, guys.
Anything in closing for you on Powerage or Powerage, whatever your preference is?
Powerage, a very solid to me AC/DC album with Bon Scott representing the lead vocals. He does an absolutely outstanding job vocally. The band toned down their production from Let There Be Rock to this. You could tell. I think they were going for Let There Be Rock to be their, you know, this let's amp it up. Let's get a lot of distortion. Let's get heavier. Let's get rawer. We're going to try this after the two mellowy type bluesy, albums with different production. That didn't work like they wanted it to for them. They come out with this, toned it down a little bit. It got them headlining in UK. They had made America by this point. I think Let There Be Rock, but they was an opening band, and they were still an opening band with this, except when they done the I can't whatever it's over in UK. I don't even know if it's there anymore, but anyway, they started making some noise, man, with this album right here, and then of course Highway to Hell come out, and they really made a lot of noise. They found their direction, they found their sound, they found their niche. But to me, a very solid AC/DC album. You got a little bit of both on here. It's kind of a confusing album if you want to look at it as a collective album whole with the powerful screaming ones like, I wasn't as crazy about either. But the more mellow ones, man, were really surprising at first when I heard them, but I really liked them. I really liked them.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Rock and Roll Damnation to top it off. Yeah.
There you go. And a thumbs up for me overall. Decent album. So, until next time, everybody. Thanks for watching.